Hello everyone and welcome to another In the Spotlight video by Parking Network. Today we're going to be sitting down with Martijn, CEO and co-founder of ParkMundo. We're going to be speaking about the origin of the organization, the rebranding to the ParkMundo brand, B2B partnerships, recent funding that they've acquired, and the next steps to the organization. Martijn, it's great to see you here today.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks for the invite, and visiting you guys in person was nice.
Now, for the audience that might not know ParkMundo and its history, could you provide us a brief introduction and, of course, to yourself?
Of course. So, I'm Martijn. I am the co-founder and CEO of ParkMundo. We are an Apple parking technology platform. We operate from Eindhoven, the Netherlands. And what we do is basically we connect air travelers with almost a portfolio of 900 parking service providers in 15 different countries and 4 continents. It started in 2013, founded by Jeroen, and I joined briefly after. And we basically started building, just the two of us, from a garage in the parents of Jeroen's place. So what we've seen in the market is that airport parking is an important part of a flight journey, but also we've seen that consumers are struggling to understand all the different parking options that are available. And there seemed to be need for a convenient way to compare pricing, but also to understand where you can, which parties are trustworthy there. We started originally solving this for the Dutch consumers in the Netherlands, and we built it upon that market by market. And while we were always self-funded, we needed to be very disciplinary in how we expanded. So how to create demand, how to find supply and build like valuable partnerships, but also make sure that the markets we expand to, that the model works there as well. And that's also shows the journey where we stand today. So we are not longer like an airport parking comparison website. No, we're like a truly international technology platform connecting demand and supply globally, basically.
Well, firstly, congratulations on all that growth. There's certainly value to be provided then. And recently, there's been major updates to the organization, especially with bringing all of your different platforms into ParkMundo. Can you expand on that?
Yeah, correct. So indeed, as we grow over time, market by market, we at some point had a portfolio of 9 different local brands that we had to maintain. And also we no longer only offer our services to consumer, but we also developed a business-to-business capability. And that together with like a proprietary technology platform, we needed one name basically that reflects where we are today, but also where we're heading towards in the future. So that's why we came under the name ParkMundo, which basically says like, hey, this is where you start your trip when you enter the world, and we are truly global active, like said, in 4 continents. The platform itself, we basically completely rebuilt that and went live last year. It's basically the robust foundation upon we can scale further and also in an efficient way. Airport parking may sound like a simple, but the underlying market is pretty complex. So you have a lot of different parking types, availability periods, pricing strategies, and also operating systems they use. So with this new platform, new capability, we can basically translate it into like a consistent booking flow for the market. And that's why we believe to make this process simple and become a distributor globally.
Interesting. And now, with especially the global experience that you have, would you say that parking as a whole, when it comes to the consumer experience with the airports, with flights, travel, is it represented well? Do you think enough attention is given to it?
If you ask me, not really. So you can imagine that most trips, the first physical start and end point is basically at the parking if people start to fly. And it's mostly looked as an afterthought, basically. So when you book your trip, your holiday or your flight, then most of the times the consumer or traveler, they are left with booking the parking separately. Besides that, it creates friction. It's also a missed opportunity for travel brands, basically, because it's a way that they could complete the whole traveler journey. Now, if you look at where people book, now you have the most relevant data already available. Now, the airport people departure from, the departure date and return date. So it would be a really natural ancillary to add in that funnel, which doesn't happen on a large scale currently. So indeed, we believe that we can do multiple things. If travel brands can add that in their funnel, it can be becoming more convenient for the user. And for the travel brand, it can a way to have a more complementary service pack, but also create incremental ancillary revenue while at it. So that's why we believe that if we make this simple and offer this opportunity, that it can be a win-win. For the parking, the supply side of things, it's also an opportunity to reach more or a larger audience they couldn't otherwise without being as involved here.
Now, as online options increase and more companies also get involved in the parking space, how would you say ParkMundo, especially looking also into the future, how do you differentiate yourself?
I would say differentiating ourselves would be a mix of assets that we basically build. Now, besides that network, that portfolio, we have B2C demand, consumer demand. We have more than a decade of experience with converting consumers in all these different markets. But also, we are completely independent. And then I mean, we do not own any parking facilities. Then also, we don't push or we don't want to favor any parking provider, facility or service. We just aim to offer or to help support finding the best solution for that travel provider. And on the other hand, to get the right audience for that parking provider. So we believe that this on a large scale really makes a difference how we approach it. And the value of becoming this independent party in the market.
So Martijn, the organization has some major updates recently, especially with the external funding and investment that you've received, also in relation to now the coming together of the brand to ParkMundo. So can you tell me a bit on what is the plan for the future currently?
Yes, correct. So that funding we will basically use to accelerate growth on already a proven foundation. As being fully full-strapped for the last decade, we're really concise on the investments we made and optimized unit economics. And there are basically three pillars or three growth areas. First of them being technology enhancement that we already were building upon. Then we have geographic expansion and also customer experience that we want to improve. So while being business to consumer, our marketplace, our core business, we see this B2B capability and an embedded solution as a second growth engine, basically. So for travel providers, our message would be airport parking adding to your journey can be seamless and effortless, and it can complement the trip. And our next growth phase would basically be to connect as many travelers to this foundation we built, no matter where they book their trip.
Wonderful. Thank you, Martijn, for all the insights today. And from myself and all the Parking Network team, we wish you all the best in this future developments to the organization.
Thank you very much.